Stuck with a Cash App deposit but worried it might be too big? Ever since mobile payment apps exploded onto the scene, they've become a game changer for sending and receiving money on the go. But with great convenience comes limitations, and Cash App is no exception. Whether you're selling some furniture online or finally getting paid back by that friend who owes you from last year's concert tickets, understanding Cash App's deposit limits can save you from a frustrating situation. So, before you get caught scrambling to figure out how to break down your deposit into smaller chunks, let's dive into the nitty-gritty of Cash App's deposit limits and how they might affect you. Breaking down the basics, what exactly are Cash App limits? Cash App, like most financial apps, has two main types of limits to keep in mind: sending and receiving limits. Sending limits focus on how much money you can send out at a time, while receiving limits deal with how much you can bring into your Cash App account. Today, we're specifically focusing on deposit limits, which fall under the receiving umbrella. This refers to the maximum amount of money you can add to your Cash App account within a specific time frame, typically measured in weeks. Cash App's deposit limits, by the numbers. Alright, enough with the suspense. Let's get down to the brass tacks. As of June 2024, Cash App imposes a weekly deposit limit. This means the total amount you can deposit from your linked bank account or other sources into your Cash App balance is capped at a specific amount each week. Now, the exact limit can vary depending on your account verification status. Here's a quick breakdown. Unverified accounts: if you haven't completed the verification process by linking your bank account, SSN, and date of birth, you'll have a significantly lower deposit limit. This is because Cash App needs more information to ensure the security of your account and prevent potential fraud. Verified accounts: once you've gone through the verification steps, you'll unlock a higher deposit limit. This allows Cash App to trust your account more and facilitates smoother transactions. Cash App doesn't publicly announce exact limits. But we can help. Unfortunately, Cash App doesn't explicitly advertise its exact deposit limits on its platform. This can be a little frustrating, but there are ways to find out what your specific limit is. The first option is to check directly within the Cash App itself. Here's how. Open the Cash App on your phone. Tap on your profile picture in the top right corner. Select Support from the menu. Choose Limits from the list of options. This screen should display your current sending and receiving limits, including your weekly deposit limit. If you're not comfortable navigating the app or prefer a more personal touch, you can always contact Cash App support directly. Their customer service representatives can provide you with your specific deposit limit and answer any questions you might have. Important considerations: understanding why limits exist. Cash App doesn't just impose these limits to make your life difficult. There are several reasons why they have these restrictions in place. Security: Cash App prioritizes keeping your money safe. Limits help prevent fraud and money laundering by making it harder for bad actors to move large sums of money through the system. Account verification: as mentioned earlier, higher limits are reserved for verified accounts. This encourages users to complete the verification process, which strengthens the overall security of the platform. Gradual account growth: Cash App is a great tool for everyday transactions, but it might not be ideal for moving massive amounts of money. Limits help users gradually build trust and activity on their accounts before dealing with larger sums. Beyond the limits, alternatives for bigger deposits. So, what happens if you need to deposit an amount that exceeds your Cash App limit? Here are a couple of alternatives to consider. Split up your deposit. If possible, consider splitting your deposit into smaller chunks that fall within your weekly limit. This might require some additional planning, but it allows you to utilize Cash App for your transaction. Explore other options. If dealing with smaller deposits isn't an option, you might need to consider alternative methods for moving your money. Traditional bank transfers or peer-to-peer payment services with higher limits might be a better fit for your specific needs. Cash App limits: the final word. Cash App deposit limits are a fact of life, but understanding them doesn't have to be a headache. By knowing your verification status and checking your limits within the app, you can avoid any unpleasant surprises when it comes to depositing funds.